Hi everyone, Jamie Humphries here for Six String Alliance, and today we are taking a look at the brand new Wampler Moxie Overdrive pedal. So today we're taking a look at the brand new Moxie Overdrive pedal from Wampler, which is Brian Wampler's take on the classic Ibanez TS10 Tube Screamer. Now the Tube Screamer is a bona fide classic pedal. The vintage Tube Screamers, namely the TS10, fetch ridiculous prices on the second-hand market. And what Brian has done here, he has taken that classic circuit and included it in this compact mini pedal. Now, one of the main characteristics about the Tube Screamer is its pronounced mid-range. That's one of the things that guitar players really go for with this pedal. It really makes the guitar tone jump out. And Brian has really made an incredible job at recreating that iconic tone. Now, with all of Wampler pedals, there's always a little bit of a twist to them, and we have a couple of these little mini switches, one of which will kind of pull out the mid-range slightly. We have this voice control here, which scoops the mid-range a bit. And we also have the fat control that when you engage that, it gives you a lot more drive. It's more of a boutique drive. So it will take the kind of mild, sort of clean-esque sort of drive of the Tube Screamer and push it further into a full overdrive tone. So let's have a look at the layout of the pedal. Obviously, this is a mini pedal, so it's nice and space saving on your board. We have the volume control, we have the gain control, we have the tone control. Here we have the voice switch, this little mini switch. As I said, when you engage that, it will scoop out the mid-range. And over here we have the fat switch, and when you engage that, it will give you an increased amount of gain. On the top here, we have your input for your power. It's a true bypass pedal, and with all Wampler pedals, it has the highest build quality and fantastic, durable, high quality components. So before we get onto the tones, let's talk a little bit about gear. Yes, the track had a heavy Angus Young influence during the riff and for some of the leads and other parts, although it kind of went off in a few different directions. I was trying to fuse sort of classic rock, some hard rock elements, and a little bit of sort of blues infused licks as well. Now, I do have a Gibson SG in the studio, but as it was a kind of Angus style riff with a little bit of a twist, I thought I'd add a twist to the guitar and sort of nod Angus, but use something a bit different. So I'm using my Yamaha SG. This is a Yamaha SG 1300T that I've had since 1985, 1986. My grandfather bought me this. This was my first decent guitar, and this guitar has huge sentimental value to me. Before you all start pointing at the screen, screaming sacrilege, you fitted a Floyd on a Yamaha SG. The 1300T actually came with a locking trem. It had a gold locking nut here and a Yamaha locking trem system with fine tuners, but it wasn't the greatest trem in the world. And when I was about 19 years old, 18 years old, I used to work for FCM Music, who distributed Ibanez. And I was playing Ibanez then. That was when I was really into my Steve Vai thing. And one of the guys in the storeroom said, "Oh, we've got a spare gold edge if you want it." I was like, "That'll go on my SG." So I had a lot of mods done to the guitar. And due to the mods, it had an accident, which I won't spoil the story in this, and the headstock came off. And due to the nature of the break and the mods that were done, the guy who fixed it said it needs a new headstock. So he actually built a new headstock and put the fascia of the original one on. I took it out the case and the headstock was off. So this guitar was out of commission for nearly 30 years. And thanks to the wondrous, amazing Andy Warnock back in the UK, he rebuilt the guitar, put these maple rods in, and the guitar meant so much to me. I had to be able to play it. So it was a little bit kind of, will the mod work? Either that or it's going to completely kill it. And it worked a treat. So we put, or should I say, he put a Kahler style locking nut on it. It stays in tune. It plays incredible, albeit that it's got much lighter string gauge on it to what I normally use, just to sort of not put too much stress on that repair. But yeah, at some point I will do a video on this guitar. The other reason I used it as well is because it's got coil tap, so you can get some different tones. So yeah, it's kind of cool for me actually to be playing this guitar again. It doesn't actually live at the studio. I keep it at home. It means so much to me, this one, and I play it a lot. So you're gonna be seeing this in a few more videos. As usual, I'm using my MESA Mini Rec, and I'm using it on the clean channel, but I'm pushing the clean. This pedal works best when it is stacked or pushing other pedals or pushing an amp that's kind of either driven or slightly driven. And I'm running into Cab Clone IR, the MESA Cab Clone IR. Okay, so let's have a listen to my clean tone to start with. As you hear, it's not fully clean. It's on the turn. If I go on to a single coil sound, or single coil setting, should I say, you can hear the guitar will clean up. So I'm just slightly pushing the clean channel, just getting it to clip slightly. So we've got all of the controls in the middle. Let's engage the pedal and have a listen. So straight away, it's got that instantly recognizable mid-range hump. Let's go on to the neck pickup. It's got that real woody tone about it, and you can hear why blues players love it so much. Go single coil. Okay, let's go back on to the bridge humbucker. Yes, this guitar has also had a different humbucker in the bridge. This is a Seymour Duncan JB. So let's pull the gain down. This is quite interesting. When you put the gain on 0, it's just completely clean. So obviously there's applications there for pushing the volume up. We will look at an application of this a little bit later on, but you can use it more as a boost. Obviously, it's going to have that very distinct mid-range to it, but applying that to pushing your amp or other pedals. Okay, so let's start now to turn the gain up. So the gain completely off. Okay, bring the gain up slightly. It's really organic sounding pedal, this. So now we push the gain up a little bit more. We're around the sort of 2 o'clock mark. Let's now go on to the 2 pickups together and split the coil. Let's push up the tone. I really like that sound, actually. Yeah, you can hear it's got that sort of bluesy quality to it. Push the gain up even more. Sounds really nice on the neck pickup there. Okay, so gain all the way up. Okay, so there's quite a lot of gain there already, just without adding any of the other switches, well, namely the fat switch. Let's turn the gain down to the sort of midway point. There is kind of a sweet spot on this pedal as well, where it doesn't get too saturated and too compressed. Let's turn the tone control all the way down. Okay, start to bring the tone control up. Okay, up to the halfway point. Okay, push it even further, so we're around at about 3 o'clock. Well, that's nice. I like the sound of that. Let's go single coil. Okay, and all the way up, even with the tone all the way up, it doesn't become, it's not brittle sounding, it's a really lovely sounding pedal. I liked it around about there, I think, around the sort of 3 o'clock. And obviously dropping it down, you can hear how it fattens things up. So now let's check out the voice switch. With the switch out, it's got that distinct mid-range hump. And with the switch engaged, yeah, you can hear straight away, it's pulling out, it's scooping out the mids. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I actually really like the mid-range. Okay, so now let's engage the fat switch. Let's have a listen without. Okay, let's kick the switch in. Yeah, there's a lot more gain straight away. You can push the gain up, you're going to get a lot out of it. Let's back down that tone control. Push in the voice switch, we're scooping out a bit of the mid. Yeah, there's a lot of gain available when you include that switch. So there's a real lot of tonal options with the Moxie. We've got that classic TS10 Tube Screamer. We can add some extra gain, or we can scoop out the mid-range, or you can add some extra gain and scoop out the mid-range. So quite a lot going on with this pedal when using it. Anything, as I said, from sort of mild driven tones all the way up to slightly more higher gain tones. Now, talking high gain, I wanted to experiment a little bit with pushing a higher gain tone on the Mini Rec with the Moxie in a way that a lot of the metal guys do this, using the Tube Screamer in this application. So I've gone onto the red channel of my Mini Rec and I'm using the vintage voicing, but still, as you can hear, that's a pretty driven tone. But by using the Moxie, I can, if I turn down the gain all the way, I'm going to push up the tone. I'm going to keep the, I'm going to actually turn both of the switches off for the moment, and then I'm going to increase the volume. Okay, now let's bring in a little bit of gain. Yeah, that's starting to come to life. Okay, now let's push in. Yeah, there's a lot of noise now. Maybe I'll back down the gain ever so slightly. So I've included the fat switch. Yeah, it will do high gain really well. Let's scoop out the mid, see what we think of that. I actually prefer it with the voice switch out. I think that having that kind of little hump sounds kind of adds a little bit of extra bite to it. Let's take out the fat switch and just push the gain a bit more, push the volume. Turn down the gain, actually, push the volume. Push this fat switch in, get my fat fingers in there. Yeah. So as you can hear, you can really use this pedal for stacking and pushing your amplifier. Imagine using that in front of another pedal, pushing it into more higher gain territory. Hopefully you can see with just my amp and this pedal, I've gone from everything from sort of mild single coil blues tones into more classic rock tones and then into higher gain tones. Now, just to mention the intro track, as I said before, it had a very strong AC/DC inspiration. In hindsight, maybe that wasn't the best choice. That's more of a Plexi style demo track, I think. But I wanted to see what I could get from this pedal. I guess I'm kind of known for sort of classic rock and hard rock, that sort of thing. I'm not really a blues guitar player at all. So I wanted to see how I would use the pedal and how the pedal would work for me. And I was able to get a wide variety of different tones. All of the tones that you heard on the intro track were done with the pedal straight into the Mini Rec. And there was no EQ tomfoolery going on. You are just hearing the sounds from the pedal, just making mild adjustments to the tone control and the gain and the switches, and also using different pickup combinations. So yeah, this is a great pedal. I always say this about Wampler pedals, but as I've said before, I won't look at pedals on my channel or products on my channel unless I feel that they have something to say and that they're good. I don't think there's really much point. And to be honest with you, when I first plugged this in, because I didn't really understand how the Tube Screamer worked, I was a bit like, ooh, maybe I'm not the right person for this demo. And then after kind of finding the sweet spot on the amp and spending some more time playing with the pedal, I was like, okay, yeah, now I get it. But yeah, if you want to save yourself a huge truckload of money, if you desire one of those original TS10 Tube Screamers, I would look to this. It's a Tube Screamer with a twist. It's a Tube Screamer and a whole lot more. So yeah, another thumbs up from me for a Wampler product. Brian's really knocking it out the park at the moment, I think, with the products that the company are coming out with. And this is just another great pedal to add to my ever-growing arsenal of Wampler drive pedals. Anyway, click the link in the description for more info. I really hope you've enjoyed the demo, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.